Welcome. This tutorial is about Ubuntu and its basic features and how to use them. So let's get into it. Now, Ubuntu is an operating system. It's a distribution of Linux, and Linux is a freeware open source operating system. You get the source code for Linux, so you can make new distributions out of the original code. But it follows the philosophy known as the GNU philosophy or the free software philosophy, where you have a piece of software which is distributed for free, and it's open source. So obviously, you get the source code, you can make new stuff out of it, but it's completely different, and it's not copyrighted on top of that when it's open source. Now, you can see that Ubuntu is quite well developed already. So Ubuntu, right? Let's start from the top right here. Now there's a login screen, as you might have noticed. Now Ubuntu has this top bar where you can find a non-screen keyboard, high contrast screen reader option in one pane, and a keyboard language option in another pane. Internet connections and connections in general, another button pane, and a volume control, so you can mute your device, unmute your device, change the volume to whatever you want, like in a normal computer. And there's a calendar with the time and date, and suspend, restart, and shutdown. Now you can see that there's also this option known as remote login, so you can log in to your computer from any place if you have an internet connection and a mobile device. So you can log into your home computer using another computer or computing device, such as a tablet, a phone, anything of that sort, by using your email address and password, which is registered. And there's also a feature known as guest session, where you can log into another person's computer without using their password or username, but you can also not access their files, so you can only find Ubuntu as it comes out of the box, but nothing except for the basic features. Now you can, in guest session, you can do some useful stuff like writing on LibreOffice Writer, which is a replacement for Word on Windows or Mac. And you can also, it's a word processing software, and when using Firefox you can search up things such as Ubuntu, and it will take you right there. So you can find out that Ubuntu is the most popular free OS. It's one of the most popular Linux distributions out there, and you can also find things like philosophy, anything a normal browser can do. That's what the Firefox and Ubuntu does. Now I'm going to switch my user account to my own personal account, and this will give you a better idea of what Ubuntu looks like to a normal person. So let's get into that. Now this is what Ubuntu looks like normally to a person. Now you can see the screen was made bigger, but that's because I'm using a different device which is incompatible with some features of Ubuntu, but it covers all the basic features. Now you can see that the top bar, starting from the top, is quite similar to the one we saw in the login screen, mostly owing to the fact that it's the same bar, but now you have this launcher on the side, which functions in the same way or manner as the Windows toolbar, which is the taskbar, which is right over here, or the Mac OS dock, which is usually stationed over here. But in this case, it's on the left-hand side. I'm aware that the dock and the launcher, the taskbar, can be placed on many sides of the screen, but the Ubuntu launcher is only placed on the left. You can change it using different applications of Linux, but that's for advanced users. Now, on the launcher itself, you have the options for universal search. Now, this is a very important option. You can find anything on your computer that you want, from apps to all sorts of things. Like you can find a home page or recently used. Now you can find applications, you can find files and folders, and these are indicated by these icons on the bottom. It's like a dock. Now this functions in the same manner as Spotlight on Mac, and heading downwards, there's the File Explorer. It's called Files. It functions similar to the Finder on Mac and Windows Explorer on Windows, and you can find a lot of different kinds of categories, or more like libraries on Windows. So you can browse through your documents and files on your computer. And there is also something known as the trash or the recycle bin on Windows or the trash on Mac itself, which functions in the same manner. So you can empty or restore it by clicking these. Now you can see that this Ubuntu interface has a redeeming quality in the launcher, and it's also very differently colored. So you can find out that you have different icon themes, right? And you can also see that opening applications gives different sorts of animations, like such as this blink, which shows that it's loading but it's not completely open. It also stockpiles, so if you want to drag down, you can just get your mouse pointer and drag down, and it will drag through the launcher. Now, these three icons you see over there are the replacements or substitutes for word processing software that's known as LibreOffice Writer. If you hover over an icon with your mouse pointer, it'll show you the name. So, and the next is LibreOffice Calc and LibreOffice Impress. Now, the Impress is for a substitute for PowerPoint, and Calc is a substitute for Excel. So you can see that these are basically a recreation of Microsoft Office, but it's the open source version. So you can use these to do your different kinds of work. Now you can also minimize an application by clicking this button right over here, a maximize option or restore, and they'll make it smaller or bigger or close it. You can also open an application, and there'll be this options menu or an extra toolbar for this embedded into the main toolbar, much like in Mac. So you can insert, view. So your basic options are all displayed here if you hover over there. Now, you can also see that there's the Ubuntu Software Center. This is also another basic feature of Ubuntu. Now, using the Ubuntu Software Center is fairly simple. You have categories, which will soon load, and you have a universal search button, so you can find things, and you can also look at your history, what you have installed, what's not installed, and everything of that sort. So right now I can just go on and find in the games section in any game that I want, or I can go back there and find themes and tweaks, anything. It's a very wide library. As many people know of MediaC Media Player. It's another open source software, and you can just click install here, and it'll download it for you. Sometimes you need to give a password if you have not authorized using passwords. Now you can see that here you have even more options, and you can also have different kinds of icons in desktop. My desktop does not have icons, but this particular desktop can have anything, different kinds of applications. So this is basically like how icons are used in Mac, less than Windows. Now you also have the system settings right here, which is another basic function, and also the workspace feature. First, the workspace feature is basically like expose or Deskpod for Windows. Deskpod does not come out of the box for Windows. It's a third-party software, but Expose comes with Mac. Now it gives you multiple desktops to work on. You can switch your processes from one desktop to another, like this, or you can have them all on all four desktops, but that's not generally favorable. So I'm working on the third desktop right now, and using the system settings, you can all right now, which I'm showing you, you can change a lot of things such as the ambience theme, which makes it darker. Now it's brighter, so that's radiance. And you can change your theme, you can change your wallpaper. I can change it to a different wallpaper. Everything changes in accordance to that. So I like this wallpaper better, so I keep it. And you can also disable or enable workspaces. You can auto hide the launcher. There's a plethora of features available. And that's one of the more basic features. You can also go to details in this section and find your computer specifications, the default applications for each and every function, and change them. For example, I can change Google Chrome for website, the web access to Firefox, and back and forth. So And you can also look at your user accounts, change your user account settings, passwords to this section. Now you can also have the power options such as your power saving methods and your Bluetooth, which is right here in case you need to transfer files. You can turn on Bluetooth by if your computer has an adapter. Mine currently doesn't. Now, yeah, that's basically it for system settings. Now there's also this section, like the top bar has changed a little bit. You can go to the time and date sections through all settings to time and date, or you can just use this. So currently I can just click on time and date and select whatever settings I want: 12-hour time, 24-hour time, display date and month, display seconds, and it'll all come up here. Now I can also log out, shut down, or go to about my computer using this section as well. And that will basically be it for what's in Ubuntu out of the box.